used to like listening to that song.
No, nothing against Kevin McLeod.
It
It's
just
just that,
ruins it now that you play it every week now, you know?
yeah, I guess I gotta come up with some kind of jam, I guess.
Right.
But
I There's actually one that it was made by somebody. It's like, and they're not like really that well known, and like I don't even know what their license is with it, but I wish I could use it for the intro. But
if they
I
got
wouldn't
like
even
a
know who to contact. Like, hey, can I pay you money to put this on our
well,
podcast or something?
actually, what you do is, do they have a Twitter or like a Facebook?
I don't know.
Because there's like musicians I follow, right? And whenever they post some new music to, well, they'll share on a bunch of links on Twitter. There's always going to be someone that goes, "Hey, I love you. Can I use this for a podcast as long as I credit you?" And then they go, "Yeah, as long as you put me, my name in there somewhere." They go, "All right," so they don't charge them a fucking thing. They're just because they understand that people like it. They'll play it. I mean, you're going to listen to the shit for free anyway if you don't buy it. Might as well get people that wouldn't normally be listening to it, listen to it.
Right. Well,
So,
it's like one of those types of things where I have to enter the metadata for
mhm.
their album or whatever in manually.
Well, you just what do they say? You just gotta ask because the worst they can say is no.
Right.
So,
Um. I don't know. I mean, might be able to get away with sampling. It just depends. I have to do more research on it. You know.
right. I mean, some of them, allow allow fair use and all that. So,
Yeah. But anyways, welcome to our show.
welcome to the show. It's our
Yes.
show.
We're doing it early on a Thursday because I'm gonna be uh MIA all weekend.
Oh, we're gonna be that band or that
Yeah.
whatever. Was it a band or just a like a girl singer? I can't remember.
I don't know, man. It might have been just the girl.
I'm just a girl. That was no doubt, man. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're getting off topic here. Let's start off with the easy questions. What have you been up to, good sir?
Um. Well, I've been up to. I've just been like I was saying to you before. I was cleaning up my apartment, getting ready for my friend to hang out this weekend from college. He's a college friend. Um.
You don't want him to see how you live.
Right. Nah, I'm a decently clean guy, but like you just want to get into the nooks and crannies of the apartment, make sure everything's you know, like looks better when you take a second glance at it.
My ex, the first day that she moved in with me, we were cleaning up my apartment. She goes, "How could you live like this?" And I'm like, "Well, you stayed with me for like 2 weeks. What do you mean? How could I live like this? Well, you saw the carnage and shit. What?"
Right.
But
My thing is like I don't like leave clothes or anything on the floor. Like I hate
uh,
having to walk over stuff.
see, I just hate all my clean laundry is here. I just hate putting it away
Yeah.
because like I'm I'm OCD, but people go, "You're not OCD, you're messy." Hoarders are OCD. You don't have to clinically categorize everything. And plus, you have so much that you think you're going to do that you just get too fucking tired or you move on to something else that you can't like. I will sort socks and match them up even if they're just my sweat socks. A white sock and a white sock. Well, see, this one's got a little bit. This one's brand new. This one's worn, so these don't match. You know, it's not
Right.
just the color matches and or this one has a different color sole. No, no, no. It's these look like they came out of the packet at the same time versus no, this one's clearly like 2 years old and this one's not. So never mind my wife's socks because hers I could spend all fucking day because she bought a 20 pack the other day and it's killing me because her feet are this big and they
Right.
never when I toss them in the washing machine they never make it. They fall to the floor and I go, God damn it. But and our washing machine's on the floor. It's not like I mean I have to squat down anyway to get in the washer, and then the extra floor. I'm like, oh fuck, I hate. But yeah, my shirts I hang them up in that closet that's right in front of the bed that I sit them on when I fold everything, and I'm like, I just don't want to fucking do it. So,
Right.
but
Yeah.
you got to do it, or else you're a complete slob, you know.
Right.
But your friend from college, huh?
Yeah. He's gonna be helping me build my computer. Um, so I got like computer parts and stuff on my desk, and I also got some other computers. Nate gave me like it was like three computer towers that were just like old XP machines or whatever. He wants to see if they even work or if they have, like whatever's on the hard drives and shit. He was just curious because I think a couple he got for free, and one was like an old computer of his. He forgot if he had anything on there, and
Porn,
uh,
slob
right,
porn,
yeah. Uh,
lots
the
of
problem
porn.
is you can't. I tried two of the computers wouldn't turn on, and one of the one computer turns on and stuff, but I can't get it won't boot from the hard drive for some reason. So I gotta put it in another computer in my XP machine.
Mm.
Uh, but since that one I was telling you last week that blew up, so I'm gonna have to
Hmm.
take the power supply out of the working computer, see if that'll work with my XP machine, and then uh, s- install the hard drive and see if I could see if there's anything on there.
That's a lot of work, man.
Yeah, yeah. But hey, if I could get a free, it's a 400-watt power supply, so it's not too bad. It's free,
Mm.
um, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Because I was thinking, but eventually I wanted to get another power supply just so I have the XP computer still working
Hmm.
at least so I can use it to like upload things on it, like if I need to, uh, like like I don't know, just do some kind of like batch scripting or something, like batch
Uh huh.
processing or just like syncing files and stuff because like uh, I've been uploading to OneDrive. I have like 100 gigs of files I got to put up to OneDrive and it's really slow and I was trying to have it. I was doing that when it blew up. So
Hmm.
OneDrive is like really slow though. It doesn't use like my full upload speed. I think it's only going at like a couple 100K upload
Uh oh.
to OneDrive for some reason. And I've
Hmm.
read other people were saying this similar things about OneDrive. So like, damn, I'd rather have another computer doing that so I don't have to worry about accidentally closing out the window because then the upload stops. From
Right.
Firefox. It's
Hmm.
like shit. But yeah, uh, that's
I
what's going
see.
on. What's going on with you, man?
Well, obviously, I've been working. What else? There's a couple other things I was doing. I had I was working on. I installed the latest version of OBS because I wanted to get streaming,
Ah,
and the new version has some different features and stuff. And when I upgraded, I was like, well, let me make sure I got my settings because when I last tried it, my internet was shit. So I
yeah.
uh, I wanted to go in and add all my settings for like my current speeds and try it out. I did a test recording just to see like because my main monitor is ultra wide, so It's was that 21:9. I wanted to output at like 720 because it can do 720,
Yeah.
and if people want to watch on mobile, it's easier to do than it is on 1080.
Right.
But for some reason, it looks. I don't think it's a true 720. It looked warped, but I only had enough time to pull it up and make sure it actually recorded. And that's how I knew my mic was all funky because I was looking at my webcam and I was like, oh, why is my mic way over hell over there? Because I wasn't right in the middle of my I want to sit right in the middle of my screens and look at them, and I don't want to be way over here in the corner and shit. So, but so I at least saved one so I can rewatch it and see. I didn't play. I just I started a game up and talked over it to see my levels and everything, and I did that. And I found out recently the some when I got Payday 2 for free, they sent out a message. They're like, hey, if you've got Payday 2 for free, it also came with the beta version of Raid World War II. Which, have you ever heard of that one?
Yeah.
I had never heard of it, and I said, oh, cool, and a free game, whatever. And I played the first part of the beta, and oh my god, I'm buying that fucking thing because it's like Inglorious Bastards meets Ocean's 11 meets Borderlands. I guess I don't know. It's like you there's the Nazis. Uh, England has had enough of them, and they have a secret mission to go in and kill Hitler, and you're part of it. And they say, of course, history's going to forget about you, and they'll never know that you exist. But hey, if some Nazi gold happens to go missing, oh well. So,
Yeah.
like in the trailer, they're like in the fucking vault loading up all these gold bars, and like the first 5 minutes, the very first mission they had me do, they're like, okay, sneak around this corner, kill the Nazi guard, and then dump his body in a dumpster. And I'm like, yes. And then you lockpick, which is another thing I'm really like doing in games, and I'm like, oh, this is. And like the trailer opening, the British guy, of course, always is the explosive expert. So he sets up a bomb, and like they run out of the building, and these cars come pulling up and pointing their guns at him. And the explosives guy looks at his watch, and he's like, 3, 2, 1. And when he counts down to 1, he's flipping him the bird, and then the building blows up, and they jump out at the cars, and they're shooting at him. I'm like, oh, oh, killing Nazis, nice. So yeah, I'm oh, I think it's like only like 30 something bucks too. I think, which
Right.
for
That's cool.
brand new, when I bought Fallout, it was like 60. So I mean, okay, I mean, and I can play the beta until I get this whatever. There's already like an update for it. I just saw that.
That's cool.
So
Yeah.
so I was.
Do
Hmm?
you like that in like I don't know like what is that I forget the word now, those stealth games where you have to be like where you have to dispose of the body, otherwise like the guards and stuff will know
Like
something's up,
Hitman and all that.
obviously. Yeah.
Um, I have different play styles. I like to steal stuff. Looting, like that's my main problem with the Fallout. Like even when I get the perk where I can carry more stuff, I still get over encumbered. So like it's you can't run while you're fully over encumbered. So like in the first when I played my first playthrough of New Vegas, there's a girl that teaches you how to shoot. She's like, "Okay, come on, let's go do this other thing," and I go, "Okay," and I'm just slowly walking behind her because I can't keep up because I'm over encumbered with shit. I'm coming, and she's gone. And like that game was like the problem with it was people were complaining that you couldn't run. Like walking was not like walking at all, and then like when you put your weapon down, you can walk faster, but you're not even at an actual walking pace. Let alone sprinting is walking. So
Oh,
and so when you're over encumbered, you're just like, okay, here's step, step. that. I'm like, well, night's coming, and the monsters are gonna come out and eat me, and there's nothing I can do because. But that's because my play style of I like to gather every. I need to steal this. Yeah, I can take that because it's part of the fun. Is like crash down. Okay, now I'm hidden and I'm stealing. And like the older versions, the thing would pop up. You lost karma. That's a bad thing. I don't give a fuck. I like stealing stuff. So I do that, and then so sneaking a little bit. Yeah. I I don't like it totally when you have to be totally hidden to do anything. Like the harder levels of Fallout I haven't played yet. I'm still on. I haven't changed my main play settings since I started, but my level is like I'm way OP. But basically, if they don't see you for long enough, they walk away. I don't know how most games are. Like
Right.
I get bored. I'm like, I want to go out and shoot something.
Yeah. Well,
So
I think some of the newer games they'll give you like a type of vision where you can see like their cone of sight or something. You know.
right. I mean, if I know, like I said with Fallout, you'll hit them, you'll shoot them, and you'll shoot a bullet, and the thing marking that there's a person will turn to red, which means they're aggressive. They're like, I gotta
Yeah.
kill you now. And you're like, okay, he's a baddie. But,
Right. It's just
I,
pain in the butt to have to, like drag a body slowly. Then you're exposing yourself. You know.
well, like, I didn't know where I was going because, like, they're like, okay, take the body and dump it in the dumpster. And I'm like, well, where's the dumpster? I don't, and then I found the dumpster, but I wasn't in the right position. So I just, and threw the body in front of the dumpster. But at first I was like, man, these mechanics are simple because they're like, hold F. Okay, now hold F again. I'm like, man, there's nothing really to this. But then when I found out I was fucking up, then I was like, oh, well, then make it easy because I'm stupid. But there's multiplayer. You can do multiplayer online, and you have a base that you like put your gold and your fucking weapons and all. So it's a very deep game that I was like, oh, this beta was free? Wow. So I'll be checking that out later to see how interesting the full-fledged fleshed out game is.
All right.
But so I was doing that, playing a little bit, tweaking my settings on my OBS. But
That's cool.
anyway,
Yeah, I
um,
was trying to tweak all the settings and get them to be where I used to have them on my 3D program, 3D modeling
oh,
program,
is that which one is it?
the 3ds Max.
Okay, I know it was Max.
It's like, yeah, it's like Maya. It's the same company,
Oh,
Autodesk. That pretty
hey,
much like they trying to rule the world by buying out every kind of program that involves three-dimensional objects. You know.
I had I'd used Autodesk when I used AutoCAD in college, but that was in '01. So tell you how long that's
Yeah.
been.
Right. Yeah, I'm trying to model some models for my stepmom to 3D print out.
Hmm.
I was gonna make these dog bone shaped uh, light fixture cover panels or whatever you call them, where
Yeah,
like those covers for the light switches or like
yeah,
outlets or whatever.
yeah.
Because I've seen people doing that on like Etsy or something where they make like customized things or whatever with
Hmm.
that. Like
Yeah.
it varies. Some people just like glue seashells on there or some shit,
Right.
but
Right.
uh,
Right. That's Etsy. Hot glue and something else.
yeah, yeah. But I'm actually trying to go through and make a totally custom one, 3D printed. So and I was like taking measurements with like a digital caliper and stuff. It's a pain
Mm,
in the butt when you have to everything you have to do has to be by a specific measurement.
right. Because
That's
not
why I
everyone's
give
gonna.
them props for doing that.
Right. I
Designers and shit.
right. When I was in college, I had an interview. The guy had us like three or four. He told the instructor, take your fastest students and have them, meet. And we all showed up dressed for an interview. He pulls up in a Corvette, hops out, and fucking says, okay, here's what I want you to draw. Whoever gets done with it, let me know. And he timed us, and the person with the fastest times was me. He's like, okay, come to my company tomorrow, and he boogied. I'm like, well, the fuck was that? So I get there, and he's like, okay, the software we use, we don't use AutoCAD. Why did you time me on that? He's like, we use this other software. It's like AutoCAD on steroids. I'm like, oh fuck, that'll throw me for a loop, guy. Thanks.
Right.
And he's like, if he timed me on that, and he's like, yeah, you were a lot slower. I said, I'd never seen it till I walked in the door.
Yeah.
You wonder why I'm
Asshole.
slow. Right. And then he called to tell me that I didn't get the job. And he's like, and here's why. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I don't work for you. And
Yeah.
he said that what my abilities would be more in line with like his wife's little arts and crafts shit. I'm like, fuck you, guy. Okay, I get it. You don't want me. Fuck you. I'm not. Are you trying to make me not tell people to go to you like in the future? I mean, Jesus.
That's a bad example of a teacher, man.
That was just a guy. That wasn't the teacher. That was the guy. That was the interview.
Oh, yeah.
And the company was if you're ever in Columbus, I don't know if they're even still around. Clark Gray Vault. Fuck those guys. It's it's like, just like the name says. They make vaults that when you're buried, they put your casket in, and that's it. Why you have to have the best one, I don't fucking know. You keep you from getting eaten by worms for 10 more years. Shut the fuck up. Who cares? You're dead. If you don't want to get eaten by worms, get one of those houses, those mausoleums or whatever they put on a fucking, what I'm talking about? The little tomb they stick in the cemetery that nobody goes near because it's fucking creepy.
Yeah.
You could be in one of those if you don't want to get ate by worms, but it's just the same thing. You still rot. And here I am all rambling again. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
That's a weird ass conversation we're having.
Yeah. I was gonna say though, like, we did test out my 3D printer, and it looks like it's gonna be really good because we printed this little figure. It's like this little. It was like a little mech robot, but we were trying to test the detail out, and it was able to print like an inch big, and you could see the details in its actual face.
Wow.
And that wasn't even like the highest detail settings and like optimizations and stuff that we could have done. You could even do it even further,
Nice.
Yeah. So it looks like it's gonna be pretty good.
Cool. Good to hear that. Ben sent me a link. This girl was on Twitter. She had a storyboarding software that she got for free, and she linked it. And somebody's like, "Yeah, I like their thing at the bottom of their, because it's for free. And at the bottom, it's like, yeah, you can pay for it, but we don't make money from software. We make money during making our movies, so we just figure we give it away for free. Sony Pictures, they don't think like that, and they want to charge for their software, and they make bad movies. So fuck those guys," or something like that. I just know it ended with "so fuck those guys," and it was a stab at Sony Pictures. I was like, oh, but I was like, okay, I'll download some for free.
Right.
Because I like free stuff.
Don't let Doug hear that. He's a Sony pony.
And Doug can eat a cock. Big old cack.
You didn't listen to that Crushcast last week, did you?
No, I was asleep.
Well, I know you didn't listen to it while you. I mean, since then.
Oh no, I was asleep.
Yeah.
I only watch like 10-minute long videos on YouTube, and then I hope I can make it through them, and then I go to bed.
Yeah. Right. Now he was talking about this one wrestler that he looked up to who's like passed away or something.
Oh, I'm sorry. That sucks.
Nah,
Oh,
bit of a
which
Debbie
one?
Downer.
Which
I
one?
don't. I don't know. I'd have to go back. I really wasn't paying attention.
That's
I knew
horrible.
I knew it was important to him, but like I had forgotten the name, you know.
Hmm.
But I mean, he was talking about like how famous and stuff he was, and like how he's doing all these signings and stuff, you know.
Hmm.
I'm bad with names.
Whoa. That software that's like downloaded for free, I just hovered my mouse over it before I closed it, and like the show me how getting started and open each have a little chime, ding 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 ding, and then I clicked on one. It's like didn't. Oh, I don't want to post in your fucking forum.
I hate how forums like in order for you to see like a link or even an image, sometimes you have to log in.
Like Forbes is real bad now. You can't even view their website. They're like, was it Forbes or Wall Street? One of the some magazine or newspaper website now. Like I found an article I was going to do on the show, and then I went to read it, and it only gives you like the first paragraph. The rest is like, oh, subscribe to our thing or log in. I'm like, fuck you, no,
Yeah.
fuck you,
Or
mother
they have
you.
something you have to exit out of, like get our app or yeah, read our newsletter or some shit.
Right. So, is it time for some battle stations, sir?
Yeah, let's. We're gonna do your battle stations just this week, so we can get through all this in
Yeah,
a
we'll
somewhat timely manner.
we'll be here all goddamn night if we just pick apart more than a couple.
Yeah.
Man your battle stations. Man your battle stations.
Station.
Station.
Okay, so
It's
I
like Batman Forever. You sunk my battle station.
I have I was gonna have three, and then I saw one right before I came on. I said I gotta throw that in here. So I'm gonna,
Up to
I'm,
you, man.
I'm gonna do four. Fuck it, because we're not doing yours and mine. We're just do four. So Wendy's 4 for 4 deal.
Do you have a theme though, or anything?
Yeah, my theme was these were ones that I upvoted.
Okay.
So,
But
so
it's like the theme was these are ones that I picked.
yeah,
That's my theme.
my theme are these are the ones you're seeing, motherfucker. So yeah, yeah. But yeah, anyway. So here's the one I saw right before I came on, and I was like,
What?
oh, I
Those
mean,
screens are very disproportional in their size.
it's 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 a clusterfuck, and I hate it and I love it at the same time. You know what I mean?
Is that like a 15-inch screen on the
On the
right?
on the right, let me see. You know, he didn't even comment, so I don't know. It looks like I've got a 17-inch, so it could be like and it's at an angle too. So we'll have to ask in the comments to find out. But I mean, obviously the one in the back's the Vizio TV.
Yeah, I was gonna say either that's a really
Excuse me.
small monitor or that's pretty much a TV then.
I mean, yeah, that's a. Oh, I can zoom in. Okay, so it's a Vizio TV with a Vizio remote right there. He's got an Acer monitor. I don't know what kind of, but then he's got another Acer over here, flip portrait, which is. I have to argue. I don't like his speaker placement because the speakers. I mean, granted, yes, you're fucking pushing for room, but no, speakers go at your level. That your ears cannot hear that shit. That's to
Hmm.
fill up a room with sound.
Yeah, it's like what was he like delegated a corner, whatever
Yeah,
he is.
this old lady's like, put the shit in the corner and turn it off when I'm here. Okay, yes, dear. Shrink it back down so I can enjoy this. Now he's got it looks like a Wii controller, like the wheel for Mario Kart, I guess. I can't
Oh
quite
yeah.
tell. That's my assumption. I'm probably wrong, But then he's got a is that a Saturn?
You mean next to the Nintendo 64?
Yeah,
Uh,
because it says, whoops, zoom back to it. It says Genesis on it, so I'm assuming it might be a later relaunch of the Genesis, like they did with the with the Nintendos and shit. I don't
yeah.
know.
Yeah, I'm not really good with like my console history because like I only got like the really mainstream shit, you know.
Uh-huh. What was your first console?
I was just like, like I was like regular Nintendo, the Sega Genesis, and Super Nintendo 64. The only other system that I played that was a little bit different was my dad had a Sega Master System, but that's pretty much mainstream too, I think.
Right. Yeah, it was just before the Genesis. I had a NES, I had an SNES, and then we had a Genesis that we got used. Someone on the newspaper had it. Oh, okay, so we got that. I never had a 64. I bought myself a GameCube later, like way later, when I was in high school, when they had, you know, gone out of fashion. So the kids say these
Right.
days. Um, Never had an Xbox though. I'd had a PlayStation 1 and 2. Um, I kept up with like what the like the Sega. See, I think it's the later model Genesis, like because they try to keep some life going by reissuing it with a little slightly different. The Model 1 Genesis was different than the you know typical Genesis you would see, and then this one I
Yeah.
think came after, but I could be totally fucking wrong because I didn't have a Saturn. I knew people that were into them, like, oh, it's coming out at Christmas, but it was eh.
Was it the Saturn? Was that cartridge or was that? Which one was the CDs? Was that the Sega CD?
Well, yeah, there was Sega CD. Uh, uh, See, I can't remember because the Sega had the attachment for a CD, and the 32X was still cartridge based.
Yeah,
Or
I remember ones that you could do a CD and a cartridge or something. I think.
my limited knowledge of the whole thing comes from Angry Video Game Nerds, Cinemassacre, James Rolfe. He explained it and summed it up better than I ever could. In case you're actually wondering what came when, the thing is, the Sega Genesis came out, and then the Sega CD and the 32X were to extend the lifespan of it. But people didn't fucking care because the Saturn was coming out. It was already out in Japan, so nobody fucking bought them. And then the Saturn came out. I never played it. Emulators now for it kind of suck, so it's been a little iffy. But a lot of people love the 64.
Yeah.
I wasn't like they were in college playing it, or I was not. I was doing other stuff at the time. I was way into guitar, and when I got into college, I started getting into cars. So I was in a different field. This guy also looks like he has a nice little Xbox collection. I'm assuming it's probably down here in the darkness, down in the dungeon.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, I just remember playing the 64, having really good memories, playing with friends, listening to Rage Against the Machine back then. You know?
Pocket full of shells. And he's got a Fallout poster, which I could always get behind. I'm assuming he owns the game because this is the fold-out poster that comes with the physical game when you buy it. I don't have it because I just downloaded it from Steam. I have a lamp very similar to this. If it's not in a corner away from this monitor, I'm assuming he has this monitor pointed at him to so when he streams or whatever, it can pick up his face. But that's a bitch because there's no remote control or anything with that light. You gotta get up and hit those switches to shut the fucker off.
Right.
But yeah,
Can I
he's
say
got
something too?
yeah. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say That's why like I can see how like a lot of people could get uh what I have a brain fart. What's that when you think of like old technology and old stuff?
Nostalgic?
Yeah, nostalgic. I'm gonna begin with an N. But yeah, I can see why people would be like that because it's like, especially with your own personal stuff. Because like yesterday, since I was taking out my motherboard out of my one case because I was gonna swap it for the one that Nate had gave me, and it's like I just remember I was just feeling, like just remembering how much work that computer did for me. It really did its good job really well, and I was just appreciative of that, and I remember
I'm gonna
using
miss
it in
all the
college
porn
and
you gave me a
everything.
computer. You pulled up the
Yeah,
porn real good.
yeah, it was very reliable, and it's like I just try
Hardly
to be
any
appreciative of
buffering.
everything that stuff does for you.
Right. It's got Xbox controller, but I don't know if that's to play, regular modern games on or actual Xbox. I mean,
Doesn't
it's
that
just
old stuff need us like the old tube TVs though? That's why Nate has one.
um
The consoles.
yes and no. Basically, my Wii hookup, I've got I can never remember which one. It comes with either component or composite, and switching to the other actually improves the quality. Uh, as far as like hooking up Nintendos and uh, Sega Genesis and stuff, I don't. It depends. I have an old Atari, not an actual heavy sixer, but the what they call it, the Atari Junior, which is the cheaper plastic version of the 2600. So it does the same thing, but it looks shittier. And it originally had an RF box like the original Nintendo had that would screw onto your. Well, you wouldn't screw it to your coax like the Nintendo did. I can't remember. You basically had a goofy thing, and you had to have the breakout box. And then I read on the Atari Age forum, another shout out to internet forums. You could buy an adapter that I bought it at Radio Shack. It had a coax female on one end, and I think the other was like RF or something. And you just took that into it and then screw that onto your coax, and that's all you had to do. And I was like, oh, because I didn't know how to connect it. I didn't come with any other box. It was just I didn't even have a controller. It was just the Atari Junior. I was like, oh, I have an Atari. I don't have a fucking controller, so I bought a controller on eBay, and I was like, how do I hook it up? And yeah, I mean, it could be done. It's
Yeah, that was the day when it was hard for them to put, like to manufacture the consoles for like make it so you can have that but watch your regular TV at the same time because everything just went straight through the coaxial.
yeah. Well,
You
a
had
lot of
multiple
them,
channels, but you kind of had to delegate like channel 3 or something to
right? I mean, some of
your
them had
console.
like they had a box that would switch between TV and the game, and then you would show you how old I am. It had the two screws that you would screw onto the back of the TV with the Y splitter, and those things always fucking broke.
Yeah.
I had one for a minute. I was going to use. I had an old Magnavox. It would so you could plug coax to it, and it would act like a UHF antenna. But yeah, I don't know what his.
Who changes the channel on their TV anymore nowadays where it's an actual channel change instead of an input?
Well, I actually, I see. I have an antenna for because we don't have cable anymore. So for like channel 10, like CBS and ABC and stuff like that, we actually use an antenna. So we changed the channel there, but we do change the input to HDMI and just watch shit that way. So, but anyway, yeah, I don't know how this guy's thing is set up. It depends on the inputs of his TV slash what other, this is just a corner of the room. I don't know if he's got these hooked up to another TV or what. But
Is that
it's
one monitor just laying on its side or something? Because I don't even know if that's on an arm.
I mean, it might be leaning
The
up
vertical
against that.
one.
Yeah, it might be leaning up against that lamp. Who knows? I mean, it's in front of the TV, so it might just be leaning up against the TV. I mean, but whatever works for your player, I can't hate. It
Yeah.
looks pretty dope. But we're ranting really long about this one guy's little setup. Next one I got here. Let me go to the bigger view. Not as much bigger, but yeah, it's a tiny little tower, big ass monitor. With a nice little curvy desk, for us fat guys who have to, have a little space there. And he's got his
Yep,
head,
that's a belly curve, huh?
yeah. And he's got the, little thing there for his controller down here in the corner and his headset. Piece of shit. No, I don't know. Those are Sennheiser, I think. So they're probably good. At least that's what I think that says. But I don't know. I mean, I guess if I think his thing was a new, improved, clean as fuck gaming photo editing station. Okay, if you're trying to be clean, I understand not wanting to have. I mean, he's got something down here. Is that the tower, or is that his UPS?
Yeah, I
'Cause I
saw a
thought that.
video of a guy drilling holes into his desk just for the mice and keyboard separate.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, just so the wires are off of the desk. It's a pain in the ass. My wire for my mouse could go all the way to the other side of the desk, but I have it plugged into the back of my keyboard, so it doesn't need to go out that far. But anyway, so yeah, he's got a nice little setup here. I think a lot of people upvoted it. This was how old is this? Low Fat Mom is his username.
Right.
So I mean, it's interesting. I like it.
Very clean.
Yeah, clean. This other one I like. See if multiple. Yeah, the guy says oh, I didn't forward the actual. Oh, I didn't forward his Reddit post. I'll have to do that. His it's like, yeah, I like it, and so does the electric company.
Is
Here's
that like a
why.
server in there or something?
Yeah, hold on. Whoops. Look at this.
Oh, wow.
Let
Did he steal that from Linus, man?
me search Google for image. I thought I sent myself the actual battle stations. Yeah, I'll just go to the Reddit. But yeah, it's come on. Sorry. I sent myself the wrong link and now I'm eating up extra time. My bad. Okay, Massive was the newest one I saw. Here it is. Not as pretty as some, but my power company likes it. But yeah, so here's the main thing. I asked, I'm assuming you're on Data Hoarder? Oh, someone said
Right.
it's nice, but why? Fuck you. Oh, anyway. But yeah, he's got a Herman Miller Aeon chair, which, yeah. He's got the same desk I have. He's got the Alex drawers with a. I'm assuming it's a Hamar top. Someone actually asked what kind. He's got Marlboros, which I don't condone, but he's got two keyboards also because he's got two towers. But maybe he's not using Synergy. The last guy I said, "Why aren't you using Synergy?" They're like, "Because they don't want stuff to go wrong while I'm streaming." I'm like, "Oh, fuck you." He's got the HyperCloud. I'm not sure if those are the. Excuse me. I'm not sure if those are the twos or the first edition HyperClouds. What else do I see off the top of my head? Here's a switch over there, and all this, man. And it's like he's got a different monitor just for his server, and then his server. Let me blow this up. Oh man, that took a second. Oh boy, where to
Yeah.
begin?
Oh, man.
Think Center, whatever the hell that is. Wow. Whoa, 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 whoa. Imagine the heat that. Now, I don't know
Yeah.
this. I don't know the capacity of these drives, but let's just assume that these are all a drive. At least they're 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 right there in the first row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Well, what's
10,
the
11,
difference
12.
between the top ones and the blue ones?
The top ones appear to be 2.5 instead of 3.5. So they probably SSDs
Yeah, but
would
then
be.
they have underneath that that's like 3 columns or 3 rows of red ones like that are the 3.5, and then they have blue ones.
It's probably just a different company.
Uh,
Would be my guess. I don't know because my toes are very very hardly wet in the realm of rack mount. I don't do professional grade storage too much. I'm starting to understand it, but I'm not as well versed in it.
right.
I understand if you're doing this many drives to have these hot swappable bays. Well, I'm assuming they're hot swappable. This would be the way you'd want to go with it because then you could just pull it out. And the point of RAID is a redundant array of originally it said inexpensive disk. Now it's independent disk. So depends on how you want to word it. But the thing is, if a drive fails, you're supposed to be able to take it out, put another one in, and rebuild your array and just keep on humming. Um, if you've got this many of the motherfuckers, in a standard case, for one, it would be heavy as fuck.
Yeah, well, because it's pretty much pure like metal at that point, and
Yeah,
silicone.
and it's not going to have a lot of airflow. This now, granted, this rack does have a door on it, so it's probably a little more isolating than you know a lot of regular racks. It's got a lot of stuff in there. Probably generates a shit ton of heat.
Yeah. By the way, I counted. It's 9 by 4, right? So it's 36 regular and then 10 SSDs. It looks like so
Yeah,
let's be
I
let's be modest and say like he probably built that a little while ago. So like maybe if he'd be modest and say 4, that'd be whatever. You'd do 36 times 4. So I'd assume it's a couple hundred terabytes.
I mean, it depends on what he's doing with the shit. I don't know. He doesn't really. For all the likes of this guy, he hasn't posted a lot of information. A lot of these
Yeah.
guys are like fucking run. They go, "Here's my picture," and then they leave. Or they post
Right.
like a book with one blurry ass picture, and you're like, "Damn it!" Like,
Yeah. Put some
there's
effort into your post, man. Your pictures and your.
right. A guy had posted something yesterday. He had a Threadripper build, and he said details in the comments. I went to the comments. There were no comments, so I said I went here for details. OP did not deliver. And then he, said details are in the comments. I go, what fucking comments? And then he finally posted them 3 hours later. And then some asshole replied and linked the guy's comment to the reply. I'm like, yeah, I can see it now. But 4 hours ago when I posted this, he didn't have shit in there, you asshole.
Yeah, just
So,
look at the times on the comments.
yeah, just look at the time he posted it, dumbass. He posted it 4 hours ago. I asked 4 hours ago, where's it at? And then he posted it 2 hours ago. Yeah,
Yeah,
dumbass.
people just read into things on the surface. They don't really
Yeah, people
dig.
suck. People suck. That's what it is. I mean, this guy doesn't have anything here. Oh, it's it's an IKEA kitchen countertop. He forgets the model and finish. So I'm assuming Hamarp, but I could be wrong. And my last one, I picked. Well, just because I was kind of it's like again this is the Alex drawers with the desktop. The regular battle station. He got little lifts because I'm assuming he's a little taller. Some guys do like 4-inch lifts. I think he was a little more conservative with his. He got the nice swivelly monitor arms. Picture's a little grainy though. he's got the Mackie monitors there, little speakers, more
Yeah.
HyperCloud headphones. Now that was actually the first thing that I was like, okay. I was thinking about getting the Mackies at one point, and I wanted to do the ISO acoustics because they keep the vibration from the table from rattling and the speakers. And look how fucking high up he's got these sons of bitches. I mean, they'll go that high, but man, I was like, whoa, are they gonna fall over? And then he's got his kicks right here, which he's got Yeezys. Yeezy Boost. Made by Adidas. Adidas.com/Kanye.
Taking it easy.
Yeah, and he's got all his notebooks there, so I mean it's better than one guy like on the middle of his desk he had his fake Yeezys plopped on the desk in front of his computer. I got a big ass printer scanner like that, but I don't want to put it out because it's so fucking big. I got a flat scanner somewhere. I actually want to put it in one of my drawers, but I can't find it.
Hmm.
And I don't know, is that his tower? Yeah, no, that's his tower down there. See, I can't tell if that's his tower. I think that's his tower there in the corner, but I don't know. Some guys put him. They put him in the cabinet here sometimes because that's why they got the opening right there.
Right.
So it could be anywhere. Any comments? Yeezys.
Easy does it.
Right. Uh, Hey guys, like, hey, you should have your speakers at ear level. He's like, yeah, I sit level with them. Oh, you must be tall as fuck. Nice. Did you see the size of those shoes? OP is a big dude. Yeah, Mackie 5, so he has 5-inch speakers. Mackie storage. I'm just trying to see if he says what tower he's got because I can't even see it.
Yeah, you'd have to disqualify him.
I mean, I'm not gonna.
Well, right. Because we don't really know anything about it.
So this is really nice setup. I think a time of organization can make it great. Clip it, show up below the TV. Oh, here, place the shoes more on display or even get a shoe rack for them. Place the shoe boxes in a closet if you're looking to save them. Yeezy flex. Yeah, he's got a TV. His TV is connected to his computer, so that's good. Cody Bucks. Everyone says, where'd you get the strip lights? They're fucking LEDs. You can get them any damn where.
Right.
Don't know. I mean, it's cool. It's, it's clean. Everything's organized. I don't like his taste in shoes, but whatever. He's got a bunch of shit little knickknacks in this drawer and paper everywhere. But, I can't hate on a brother.
Right.
So, out of the 4, you got this one. Whoops. Damn it. This one. This one. And that one.
Okay. And for me, in order from favorite to least favorite would be 3, 4, 2, 1.
So this one.
Yeah.
This one. This one and this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can only. I mean, granted, the TV is pimp. Don't get me wrong. That's if you're gonna have 3 monitors, one of them might as well be a fucking huge ass TV. That's just You know, if you can do it, why not? But he doesn't have a lot of room here.
Yeah.
I think he's
He
standing in the chair. I don't.
his setup would have been better if he could have done like a grid of 2x2 or like having two ultra wides and like maybe one above him.
But just if he
Yeah.
had like that chair out of the way, and you're like, oh yeah, and if he gets tired, he can get up and move. But there's like a couch right there,
Yeah.
and then oh, you're gonna hit the bucket with the fucking frog thing on it, whatever the hell that is. I don't.
Or he could have mounted one to the side or something, like have them all wall mounted and shit.
Yeah, he can't be using that microphone without smacking into those consoles. I'm pretty sure.
Right. But
So
he's like got his whole life in this corner here.
right, it's not
Video
like
games and everything.
right. It's not like it's not bad. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this is the worst thing I've ever seen. No, out of the setups that we have, obviously the ideal is this because he's got he's got 4 monitors. I don't know why he's got a monitor on the server because technically, if you plug the server into any of the monitors, you're gonna have more than one HDMI on a monitor. So all you gotta do is switch input.
Yeah.
So that right there is a waste of fucking space.
Well, maybe he's trying to be like Linus, where they have like a monitoring station for the server stuff, where it has like a keyboard and
Ain't nobody got time for that.
mouse and
This
stuff.
shit's by his bed. He rolls out of bed and stubs his toe on his server. How do you sleep next to a setup going?
Yeah, this shit's got to be like a jet engine, man.
I mean, yeah, because actual like here's the problem with them. Even if these are, I doubt these are Power Edge. I think this is a power. Well, sure. See, Power Edge servers and like the newer kind are quieter. But if these are just flat out industrial grade servers, say like you get off of eBay or something, they're gonna have a redundant power supply that's gonna sound like a jet engine taking off. It's just, I mean, maybe that's why he got the cage, but that's just gonna rattle. So now he's got metal rattling. I mean, I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. I ain't hating because I'd have that shit in a minute. If I could, and the missus wouldn't kill me for having this, it's just I don't have the. For one, I don't have the space. Because this is next to a bed, so it's very similar. I want my next NAS to be a computer because I want I don't have a need for how many drives do we say this was here?
36 regular and 10 SSD.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with the ones you would get off of eBay is because it would be a server that the company would be phasing out. So they're probably 1 terabyte, and whereas everyone else would already be looking for 4 and above, maybe 3, but probably 4. You know what I'm saying? So you get more space out of your drive caddies. So if this is brand new, I don't know what his storage limits are, but just to have that many and to have them be online, I want to know what he's doing with them. I mean, the fucking the comment someone had made, why? Fuck you, because you can. Because it's fun. It's like George Carlin said about why people kill animals. Because we're hungry. Because it's fun. It's like, and then why do they kill people? Because it's fun. Because we're hungry. So,
Right. So what was your order? Was it the same then?
yeah, because as much respect as I have for this one, it's only a fraction of this one.
Yeah.
And then, this one's cool, but this one's just a little thrown together and sloppy.
Dude,
Yeah.
if you take the server and put it in threes office, that would be crazy, man. No, that'd be like really sweet.
The server is 3.
No, I meant in my third one. I was thinking about the last one, the
This
one
one?
with the pink. No, the pink lights, the LEDs. Yeah,
This?
if you put the server in that, that would be pretty sweet.
Get rid of the Yeezys and put it in a server.
Yeah.
Oh God, I hope well. I don't think his tower is the laptop because there's no wires going to the laptop at the moment, and he's got his monitors are still lit up. So I'm assuming, I don't know. I don't know what it is. He's leaning on. That's the only thing that makes this maybe a little better. Granted, this one's cool. It's got the I could kick it in there. Dude asked me to come over there and have some beers. I'd play some GoldenEye and have fun. But this guy's got a little beanbag. Put your feet on. It looks cool. It's a little cramped.
Right.
Only one person could be there. Same here, but you'd have a lot more to look at. And this right here is this is nuts, and I like overkill and craziness. So number one is this one then, right?
Yeah, definitely. The server really stole it, man, for me.
So Bolio Polio has 29 upvotes on Reddit. The last guy with the Yeezys, he has 335 because they go for the clean minimalist look. Every time someone posts an IKEA, Alex combo with a butcher, hey man, where'd you get that? Is this your first day on this sub? Every fucking post has one of these fucking things. But yeah, he's got 335. The the one with the beanbag footrest, he's got 2,443. And my favorite with the the last one has 9. So, but like I said, I saw it right before I came on here. I was like, I got to do it. I mean, it's not bad. It's got Acers. Those have got to have sharp little pictures.
Right.
But so that's the end of the battle stations. Then, do we have a news this week, Ian?
Yep.
Station.
That was the end.
Yep. And this is
Time for the news.
Yeah. Shuffle my digital papers of news.
And now the news with Ian. Let's hurry the fuck up. Okay.
I don't have papers, but I have my phone. I'll shuffle my phone.
Don't
It
do
has the
that.
articles on it.
Don't do that.
Hey, it's got a really tough case. It's fine.
Okay. Oh, this is gonna be sad. Are you gonna make me have feels before bed, Ian? You bastard.
Yeah, I read this a few weeks ago, and I forgot to put it in the news, so I was like, it was really sad, and it's like, it does bring up, like, we could go pretty deep into it, so, but.
Thanks. Dementia patient denied her last wish, says spouse. Medford, Oregon? Bill Harris is blunt. For more than a year, he has been trying to help his wife die. The 75-year-old retired tech worker says it's his duty to Nora Harris, his spouse of nearly 4 decades, who was diagnosed with early-onset Alzheimer's disease in 2009. Let me be honest. Yes, it's what she wanted, he said. I want her to pass. I want her to end her suffering. Nora, 64, a former librarian, signed and advanced a directive after her diagnosis to prevent her life from being prolonged when her disease got worse. Now her husband said she is being kept alive with assisted eating and drinking against her stated wishes. The one-time Virginia Woolf Scholar and world traveler can no longer communicate, recognize family members, or feed herself. She is being spoon-fed at Fern Gardens an assisted living center here after a local judge ruled against Bill Harris last summer, concluding that state law mandates that she continue to receive help. She did not want to be in a position where somebody had to take care of her, Bill Harris said. When nature, through the disease, basically said, I can't feed myself, Nora's position uh, was, that's it. Let nature take its course. In recent weeks, Nora Harris has been gaining weight, climbing from less than 100 pounds to 102 or 103, just enough to keep her stable. Bill Harris learned that in addition to 3 state-required daily meals, staffers have been feeding Nora optional snacks, too. Now he's considering going back to court to try to stop the snacks in an effort to let Nora lose enough weight to end her life. Twice before, in 2015 and 2016, she fell to 90 pounds and was enrolled in hospice with 6 months or less to live, only to rebound, he said, when staffers coaxed her to eat. You're denying Nora the right to die on her terms, Bill Harris said. It's not a right to life issue, it's a right to die issue. No exit out of this situation. The Southern Oregon case underscores the complexity surrounding the use of advanced directives for people with Alzheimer's disease and other dementias. Advanced directives are legal documents that spell out a person's end-of-life wishes if they are unable to make their own decisions. These directives generally allow named agents the power to withdraw artificial hydration and nutrition in the form of feeding tubes, for instance. But when that same nourishment is offered by hand, several states, including Oregon, draw lines, said Thaddeus Mason Pope, director of the Health Law Institute at Hamline University in St. Paul, an expert on end-of-life law. Across the U.S., the more than 5 million people living with dementia are typically encouraged to put their end-of-life wishes into writing early and to pick a trusted person to carry them out, said Beth Kalmeyer, Vice President of Constituent Services for the Alzheimer's Association. I still guarantee, however, that those requests can or will be honored. In Nora Harris's court case, her advance directive and testimony from her husband, her daughter, and 2 close friends all indicated that she would want anything to prolong her life. That court decision basically condemned Nora to the full extent of the Alzheimer's disease, Bill Harris said. They gave her no exit out of this situation. But Eric Foster, the court-appointed lawyer who represented Nora, argued that her directive doesn't specifically mention food and drink presented by hand. Because she now opens her mouth and swallows when food is offered, she has, in essence, changed her mind, he said in a court document. Bill Harris said that opening her mouth is reflex, an automatic response to 6 decades of habit. Kalmeyer with the Alzheimer's Association said it's hard to tell whether someone with dementia is acting out of reflex or desire. The association recommends against tube feeding for patients with dementia while also advising what they call careful hand feeding. If they're eating and they're opening their mouth, it's difficult to say they didn't want it, she said. Foster's stance was backed by a judge who sympathized with Bill's plight, but sided with Fred Steele, Oregon's ombudsman on long-term care. Steele said Nora's advance directive wasn't specific enough to advise Fern Garden staff to withhold food and water. Our concern was just focused on the administrative rule, he said. If the rule exists to prevent a facility from committing elderly abuse, our focus was on what the rule required. The rule requires the resident to be cute with food, and they have the choice of eating or not eating. Lynn Rollins, the center's administrator, said her hands are tied. We have to feed them until they stop opening their mouths, she said before a tour of the center last month. Unless feeding them causes more harm from aspirational pneumonia or a choking factor, we still have to feed them, even if they choke. Loss of...
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
it goes on longer, but you get the gist of that, where she pretty much says that we have to feed them until they, they don't want it anymore or whatever, if they don't open their mouth. I mean, you could go pretty far down the rabbit hole with this as far as the thin line, So, I mean, what are your thoughts on it?
Well, I mean, yeah, you can say that she's being denied her, last wish, but to force, people who swore to help and aid people to, consciously deny food to somebody who would eat it, that's cruel in its own right.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, she's still a living organism, and I mean, he he's still gonna have the will to try to survive, at
right.
very primitive level,
Yeah. It's sad, but I just hope this doesn't end up probing into a fucking murder suicide or some crazy shit.
Right. Well, I
But
think it seems like what a lot of people, like are saying with this type of stuff is that, like food and stuff is just like a basic thing to live, but I mean, like, I guess it's okay if it's in their will for them to like not give them like certain kind of like specific medications or pretty much keeping them on like if it's just like a life support or something type system.
mm, you don't say.
I don't know. I'm not a medical person, so like I don't
What? You're
really
not
have
a
an opinion
doctor?
in
I
this.
thought you were a doctor. Dr. Ian. Dr. Ian. We have a baby. It's breech.
Well, like, have you thought about wait? Do you want to be rigged to an IV if something happens to you?
Um. Oh boy, you always ask questions that are not appropriate for this forum.
Uh,
So, Franklin,
Sorry.
what's your last will and testament? You're on a recording.
Well, I'm sorry. It's just like I talk with this to other people this type of thing, and they're like, oh, yeah, I want to go this way or that way. So
Yeah, that's just a casual conversation.
right.
This is a little different. I don't know if you
Well,
knew that.
have you had to deal with that before in your life, like with somebody else?
No, thank God. I
Oh,
mean, in
right.
my family, people just kind of die. They either live forever or they just die. Like my aunt is okay. My father was born in 1941, and his big sister is still alive. And she's in her 80s, still drives herself, still goes out to the club on the weekends. She drove herself to West Virginia and back to a couple weekends ago. So in your 80s, that's pretty good. My neighbor, he's finally selling his house. He's 95. He's outlived his son and his daughter. He's living with his daughter-in-law because he's fucking 95. He can't be able to take care of himself and the house. So it's a bitch. I mean, the people always bug me. They're like, "Oh, who are you going to leave all your shit to when you die?" I won't give a fuck. I'll be dead. Like I collect stuff that I want, and I spent money on. I told everyone, "Oh, I went to the swap meet and I spent this much money on that." Well, who are you going to leave that to when you die? Nobody. I don't give a fuck. I'll burn the shit if I feel like it. I'll be dead. I don't care.
Right.
So
Yeah. I'll be like Howard Stern, man. I'm gonna be like, so Frank, do you like to give anal?
no.
I'll get it out of you.
Yeah. No. Yeah. This is a. I mean, there's reasons people fill out all this shit, and it's a hard thing that's got to be getting into a gray area, but it is. So, sucks.
Right. Well, I mean, I don't know. Some people would make the distinction too, like, like, I don't know. Since you're in their property, they're technically taking care of you. I mean, like, it it kind of comes down to like if you're actually like taking care of and feeding them personally yourself, that's more of it, because ultimately it's a decision between you and a family member. The hospital is just there providing a bed and stuff. Like they could probably do whatever they want as long as they're not like trying to purposefully kill you or whatever. It should be like the decisions, it should be all about more about like the family and stuff, you know. I don't know.
A lot of older
But
people have the feeling that hospitals are a place you go to die and you never get out, and that's what happens. They lose their
right.
will. But anyway, why do you keep getting these tech nerd articles that are like so wordy, man?
Oh, what was this? What's this one about? This one's about the
$3.5 million check.
yeah.
Oh boy. You got an abridged version I can read?
um well, let me look at it myself here. Just read it, and I'll let you know when you got the gist of the article here.
Oh Lord. $3.5 million check comes due for Lenovo and a security compromising Superfish adware. You might recall that back in 2015, Lenovo was busted for installing a nasty bit of snoopware made by a company named Superfish on select models of the company's ThinkPad laptops. Superfish's visual discovery wasn't just annoying adware, however, it was so poorly designed that it effectively made all Lenovo's customers vulnerable to HTTPS man-in-the-middle attacks that were relatively trivial for an attacker to carry out. More specifically, it installed a self-signed root HTTPS certificate that could intercept encrypted traffic for every website a user visits, one that falsely represented itself as the official website certificate. That's hugely problematic for what should be obvious reasons, but Lenovo doubled down on dumb by issuing a statement initially claiming it didn't see what all the fuss was about and that it was just trying to improve the shopping experience. We have thoroughly investigated this technology and do not find any evidence to substantiate security concerns. Security research didn't agree. Neither apparently did the FTC, which this week gave Lenovo what amounts to a stern talking to after the company's settled allegations it had turned a blind eye to customer security concerns. Lenovo compromised consumers' privacy when it preloaded software that could access consumers' sensitive information without adequate notice or consent to its use, said acting FTC Chairman Maureen K. Olinson. This conduct is even more serious because the software compromised online security protections that consumers rely on. The full FTC complaint, I'm not reading that, against Lenovo makes it clear the Superfish adware used the same bunk security certificate for every user of the stealthware. Every time it covertly interrupted secure traffic, and of course the complaint notes that Lenovo really couldn't be bothered to explain how any of this was happening to the company's customers. Respondent did not make any disclosures about visual discovery to consumers prior to purchase. It did not disclose the name of the program, the fact that the program would act as a man in the middle between consumers and all websites with which they communicated, including sensitive communications with encrypted HTTP websites, the fact that the program would collect and transmit consumer internet browsing data to Superfish. Yeah, whoops. One complaint exhibit highlights that while users had the option of opting out of this security compromising behavioral advertising effort, Superfish and Lenovo made doing so notably hard to spot.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, Lenovo. My wife's got a Lenovo. I wonder if I should send this to her.
Hey, it's always good to be aware of it. I've always been an advocate, like, it's not paranoid to at least want to know about something, you know?
It's just, they're making this so fucking fishy. Just, look at this. You got to download a PDF to fucking tell what the hell they're even talking about here.
Yeah.
Lenovo lets your shit fly out to whoever on the internet. They say, what's the problem, man? That's all they had to do.
Yeah.
My wife wouldn't understand this. If she read it, she'd be like, what? It's like a word problem where you get bored and fall asleep halfway through.
Right. Okay.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's important, but you know, I don't like that they were not, even giving their customers a opinion, a chance. So I don't know. It's really shady, man.
Yep.
But anyway, so you only have 3 stories this week, huh?
Yeah, this next one is the last one about the bill. This new introduced bill.
Is it sitting on Capitol Hill?
Yep. I'm only a bill.
Oh Lord Jesus! Size 2 font and shit. Bill introduced that would make arrested protesters pay police overtime, government expenses. Oh boy.
Yeah,
When
I'll
faced,
just I'll explain it. It's fine.
yeah,
Because I could
please
read
do.
this whole thing. So pretty much this is a bill that they're trying to introduce to try to limit like the like people's free speech and stuff with protesters and shit because a lot of this has become a hot button issue with. Did you hear about a lot of that protesting with like uh, North Dakota or whatever with that? I think it was like some kind of pipelines that they were trying to build there or something that was like
Okay.
ruining everybody's water. So
Hmm.
it says another anti-protesting law is in the works, prompted by oil pipeline demonstration both in North Dakota and closer to home in the district of the state representative introducing the bill, Scott Martin of Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, or county, I'm sorry. Under the terms of the bill, a person is responsible for public safety response costs incurred by a state agency or political subdivision as a result of the state agencies or political subdivision's response to a demonstration if, in connection with the demonstration, the person is convicted of a felony or misdemeanor offense. In other words, they could be on the hook for costs such as police overtime, medical or emergency response, or other basic public services associated with protest. Whatever felony or misdemeanor offense the protester was convicted of would come with its own independent penalty. Uh, yeah, because the state laws concerning damage to property and usual assortment of rioting related charges apparently isn't enough to deter people from complaining about stuff. In Martin's district, the new law must be put in place to hold demonstrators responsible for the actions of others, as well as anything the state might want to add to the final post protest invoice.
This is some shit you see on Facebook. Yeah, they're gonna make the protesters pay for the fucking blah blah blah, and also they're gonna start drug testing the people on the welfare. See, this actually reminds me of a subreddit I follow. I follow a bunch of them. It's called. Hold on. Yeah, forwards from grandma. I think is what it's called here. Where are they? Yep, forwards from grandma. Welfare should be as hard to get as veteran benefits. Shit like that.
Right.
Usually it's shit saying that Obama is Hitler. You know, I live in a place that liberals say America first is racist. Yeah, they just won't leave. You know. But yeah, that's very much yeah. That's very much what I see there. It's we're gonna put up a wall around the protest and make the protesters pay for it. By the way, the funny thing is, did you see Trump he worked with a bunch of Democrats now, so they're working on like getting rid of the debt ceiling.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure the GOP is going to love that shit. He's going to piss his own party off. Great.
Yeah.
Mitch McConnell won't even talk to his ass. That's hilarious.
Yeah. So, anyways, how many articles do you have then?
Oh, none.
Oh, you didn't? I thought you had something.
No, I thought you said we're just doing my 3 articles and your battle stations is the way I read it.
Oh, I wasn't meaning like that. I was just like, I'll just try to get through my 3 as fast as possible, and then.
No, I did not come prepared. Sorry, teacher. I'm in class nude.
That's okay. Did you?
I emailed you my battle stations.
Okay, that's cool. Did you have any? Do you remember reading anything else that you wanted to mention or anything?
No. I usually during the week I've been forwarding myself good stories, but I haven't seen any that just jumped out at me. Here, kids, when you play at home, just go to the subreddit technology, and then you scroll through and you find something interesting and you put it on the show, and that's what I do. Oh yeah, Google is retiring Google Drive.
Oh, they are?
Well, the software, like, hold on, let me get back here to.
Oh, you mean the client?
Google will retire the company's Google Drive software. A client used to sync files between local devices and Google Cloud on March 12th, 2018. I guess they're coming out with something that's supposed to be like it's going to coincide with some new thing they're going to have. Got all the people on Data Hoarder are like, motherfucker, getting rid of. Can't they just leave shit alone? Comcast shares fall 7% after management warns of losing 150,000 video subscribers in Q3. Can you get addicted to trolling? It's becoming increasingly evident that for some people, trolling isn't just playing an asshole on the internet. So, see, this is all kinds of good shit in here. This is just the stuff that I, grab and, focus on. But I don't think I focused on anything this week. I usually do it Friday, so I get the, cutting, leading edge,
Right.
But yeah, I didn't do any of that. So, but we were trying to keep the show short, so.
Yeah, I think we're at less than an hour and 20 minutes or something, so that's pretty good.
Cool.
I'll add in the Google Drive article, and if you want me to put anything else in there, because we really just put it in there for the links anyways,
Right. Did you need me to email that to you, or?
I mean, you can, especially if like you think of something else that you want me to put in there,
Yeah, I can't think of anything off the top of my head because I didn't really, like I said, I like to go through and just spam my inbox with stuff like, yeah, read that one and talk about that one, and I didn't do that.
Yeah.
So.
Oh. Okay.
My bad.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Text is really hard to figure out what we're saying to each other.
Right.
We're more face-to-face assholes.
Yeah.
Even though we've never seen each other actual face-to-face.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
Yeah, well, I'm glad, thanks for coming on the show. I'm glad we at least got to fit one in here, this week.
Got to rub one out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about bedtime for me because I got to get up and go to work in the morning.
Right. Yeah, you get home and then you just go to bed, man.
That's usually what I do. I let my dogs out, I eat, and then I go to bed. And then I get up and I do it all over again. So, yay.
Wow.
But tomorrow's Friday.
Yeah. Now you get the whole weekend. You don't have to do the show or anything. You could do whatever you want if you're not sleeping.
I was going to sleep. Why would I not want to sleep? Sleeping's great. It's my favorite hobby. I'm going to do
Hey,
it right after I get off here.
You can play around with that OBS some more if you want.
No, I'm probably just going to sleep. Nah, I plan on. I want to do some streaming. I don't know when. I'm trying to get it to look better. It looked like butt because my 21:9 screen was not coming in at 720. I was watching some people on Twitch actually. There's a guy I follow. He was on Twitch, and all the comments were like, "Oh, it looks so much better at 480." So I switched it to 480, and it looked great. So I'm like, well, I don't. And he says he's putting out 1080, so I don't know. But it's funny though because every time he streams, he doesn't do like how Twitch they have a face cam and then they play the game.
Yeah.
His show isn't gaming. It's mostly him. Like the last 3 episodes, he's been going around his apartment cleaning the room, doing the dishes, cooking. So like, instead of having his face in a corner, he wears a GoPro head mount, and he walks around with the headphones on, and he has an HDMI like sender to send to his computer. But the last couple times, as soon as he leaves the room the computer's in, the signal cuts out. So he has to go back to the sender and go, okay, channel 2. No, that's not fucking working. Okay, channel 4. No, that's not fucking working. And then he walks into the living room and it works. But he was selling he has a set of headphones that he's reviewed. He's like, yeah, if this says anything for their comfort. He's like, I've been wearing these bastards for 5 hours now. I'm like, damn. He had another say, the same ones, another episode, he was there for 7.5 hours. That's a long time. So.
Yeah.
But anyway. So thanks for coming on and doing this thing.
Thank you, sir.
Hope you and your college buddy have fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and the weekend after this weekend is going to be... I'm going to be at my parents' house, so I'll probably... we could do it, but you'll have to host it, and I'll just be on my tablet like I usually am when I'm over there,
Don't expect any fancy stuff, people. The fact that I can get the thing to even work is...
Oh, come on, man. We got to have...
No.
Some professional drops in there.
Nope.
We gotta have the...
Nope. Not gonna do it. Wouldn't be prudent. I'll figure it out. Someday, but not this day.
Alright. Get on that OBS first.
Right? I could do it, but everything will be all stretched out and my face will be 3 feet long.
Yeah.
No one wants that shit.
It looks like Jabba the Hutt.
All right. Well, I think we should
right.
sign off and say goodnight, everybody, Mr. Ian.
Sounds good, man. Shout a scissor up.
Scissor. Boobs. Oops.